I am back. I am me again. Well, I've always been me. Let us see. I want to make sure who can hear me. I know I didn't give any announcements. You know how that goes. Just want to make sure I am on because I was having some issues initially. There we go. All right, can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. Still need to see, can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. Yes, you can. All righty. We are going to I'm back. Yes, and I'm so happy to be back. We're going to do some clearing and some connecting and some cards. And let's just talk. How have you been? You know, I've been through it and I'm back. Yes, I'm grateful and I'm thankful and grateful to be back with you. So I'm going to kind of wait till a little bit, for more people to come on because it was last minute. Send love to my water. I send gratitude to my water. And I send assignment to my water, to every cell in my body. I am thankful. I am grateful. Going to clear the energy. I did sage in here. We're going to do it again with you. We're going to clear the air, clear the energy in the most benevolent way. I am grateful. I am grateful. Thank you. All right. Say hello. When you pop in, say hello. Don't be shy. Welcome, welcome. Say where you're from. We're getting ready to get grounded, get connected, and we're going to do healing energy. We're going to talk, we're going to share love, we're going to send love, and all in the most benevolent way. Welcome, welcome. Okay? So let's get started by taking some few deep breaths. Welcome, Elias. Did I say that right? Welcome. Let's take some deep breaths. Can I say 67? I guess. Hello. All right, so as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in on the count of 3, and we'll release on the count of 5, right? Let's breathe in. And breathe out the count of 5. Breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 5. Breathe in. And breathe out for 5. Slows our heart rate down. Now let's visualize our root chakra, our red root chakra. And we're going to visualize it going into the earth, all the way to the center of the earth, the ground, and connect. Give it a few minutes to get there. Connect to the center of the earth. And then you're going to spread that red root chakra, like roots, all through the earth, connecting to Mother Gaia, to the earth, in every area of the earth that you choose to spread your roots to. Ground yourself. Now let's bring that energy all the way up to the center part of ourselves, to the white light that is within us, the white light that we truly are. And we're going to extend that energy all the way up to the higher aspects of ourselves, connecting to the higher aspect of ourselves, connecting to source, all the way up to divinity, and bringing it down to the center parts of ourselves, to the white light where we truly are. And now we're going to expand that white light all the way around us into a bubble, 360 bubble all the way around you. Imagine the white light going all the way around you to the lengths of your arms. That's your energy field. That's how big you are. And now we ask that the angels surround the white light that we have surrounded ourselves with. And we ask that the angels hold our energy, assist us in holding our energy, holding our light, and protecting us, keeping us protected from all outside energies that are not us, that is not you. I thank my angels. I welcome the seraphim angels. I welcome my guides. I welcome Yeshua. I welcome Universal Will. I welcome you. Yes. And now let's send love from your heart, from the center part of yourself. I send love to myself. Send love to yourself. Love who you are. I send love to myself. And with love and gratitude, I send love to you in the most benevolent way. I send love to every soul upon this earth. I send calm to every soul upon this earth. I send peace to every soul upon this earth. I send love to the earth. I thank the earth for its support. And I send peace and benevolence and respect to this channel. Peace and benevolence to everyone here upon this channel, this platform. This is a benevolent space. You are welcome in benevolence, in respect, in peace, and in love, in the most benevolent way. Let's say some affirmations. I am grounded. We grounded ourselves initially with our root chakras. I am grounded. I am centered. I am connected. I am aligned. I am focused. I am love. I am light. I am healing in the most benevolent way. I send healing energies to every soul upon this earth. For these are some challenging times within themselves. And within these times, we need to know how to stay rooted, grounded, connected, protected, balanced, aligned, centered, and focused. Being guided by universal will. I receive the guidance of universal will, and I am grateful. I am thankful. So how is everyone today? Are you allowing? I am allowing. Are you receiving? I am receiving. I am receiving guidance from my higher self, for I am listening to my guidance. I go within for my guidance. I listen. Are you listening? Shall we pull a card for today to see what the universe, we have one that jumped out. And it says, shadow release, purification. Look at that. And the card that came with it was Mars. Drive, energy, and passion. What's driving you right now? Where's your energy? Where is your passion? Is it benevolence? The purification that's going on right now. Release what no longer serves you and welcome that which is for your highest good and that which is for the highest good of us all. Does anybody else on here want a card? That was for the collective, to show what the collective is going, what we as a collective are going through. Everyone on here knows that I've been gone for a minute. Those that know me knows that I did lose a daughter and I had to gather myself. I came on to let you know what had happened, and I was triggered by someone. No matter where you are, what state you are in, you are always responsible for your actions. I am responsible for my actions. I may have been triggered. I recognize that, and I'm human, and I'm back. It wasn't my proudest moment, but I am human. I have had a dark night of the soul, and I am back. Yes. It took a lot for me to come back on. I tried many a times, and I was still being triggered even in my outside world. I still had to go to work. I still had to, life goes on. I went through an array of emotions, and I speak of it now because as I was going through that, it was a couple of weeks later, I experienced another loss. A co-worker was of mine. She was newly married. She wasn't even married a year, and she too was taken. Her life was taken. It was a murder-suicide, and it was like all over again. My wounds were opened up. The connection wasn't as deep as with my daughter. However, it was still a wound being opened up. And when I found out the news, my immediate reaction was, oh my God, we're going to have to start getting used to this, because there's going to be a lot of people leaving this earth in this time. And with me saying that, It's the times that we are in. We agreed to be here on a soul level. We agreed to be here in this time. You agreed to be here in this time. I agreed to be here in this time. This is a historic time. I've spoke about this many a times about the Yuga cycle, and if you pay attention to the astrological signs, we are leaving the age of Pisces and we're entering into the age of Aquarius. And with that is a whole new cycle, a whole 2,000-year cycle, and we are at the ground level of it. So what seeds will you be planting in this ground level of a new cycle? What role will you play with humanity? What role will you play in your soul evolution in these valuable times? This is a time of awakening and expansion, conscious expansion. We have amazing, I've spoke about the 3-eye atlas before, when in the past when it was first recognized in the sky. And I have said that I'm open to aliens if it is, but however, I first will say it's the blue kachina. If it's not the blue kachina, then possibly it is the Anunnaki coming back. And if it is the Anunnaki coming back with I'm talking the 3-eye atlas, I would say that it is a scout ship for the planet Nibiru, and it's a planet that has a 3,000-year cycle, an orbit. So the last time it was in this orbit was 3,000 years ago. It doesn't operate on a circle orbit like our planets do. It's on an elliptical, I believe it is, so it's oblong. And so by the time it comes back to where we are now, it took a little over 3,000 years. And if this is the case, because scientists, the NASA and all of them, they've noticed this other planet, and they're calling it Planet X, or the 9th planet. Look all this stuff up. Please, please, please always do your own research. And remember, first and foremost, all of this is for entertainment purposes only. I am just on here talking, sharing my opinion of what I think and what I feel. So, the 3-eye atlas is going to show itself. If it is the blue kachina, which is the 9th sign of the Hopi Indian prophecy. Hey, Miss Lisa, thank you for the welcome. Welcome back to you too. I know I've been gone, but hey, I'm back. So if it is the blue kachina, it would be the 9th sign. And kachina in the Hopi language means star. And in their prophecies, it says that the dancing blue star will be a star that will dance across the sky for all to see. And it will be the 9th sign, the last sign before the purification begins. Now, I will add to that. I am really, really, the 8 signs of the prophecy have already happened. And there's a lot with the Hopi Indian prophecy that I didn't quite understand. For example, and all of this goes into the book that I've been reading, the things that we've talked about, and now we're seeing things happening in the skies, the night skies. So in the Hopi Indian prophecy, they talk about how they say they were not the first people on this land right here, the Americas, okay? In the book that I've read on the channel, those who do not know about it and want to understand what I'm talking about, you can go onto the playlist, and I've read the Children of the Law of One and the Lost Teachings of Atlantis by John Penniel. I highly recommend you listen to it, and I even encourage you to get the book to be able to review the things that are in the back of the book, because there's a whole lot of exercises and energy techniques, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they speak of how before Atlantis fell, people who knew the signs or knew what was getting ready to happen, they went to other parts of the earth. They spoke of the Atlantean who went to the land which is now Egypt, and they built the pyramids. They constructed all of that. They're in the book, they don't name the specific type of the specific type of Indian tribes or whatever, but they went through the Americas, North, Central, and South America, okay? And if you look geologically in the Atlantic Ocean, it's like this is the Atlantic, this is America, and this is Africa, like right in the center, okay? So they say in the book that people left and went to the other continents before the fall of Atlantis. I live in Atlanta, okay? A little tongue-tied here. Anyway, and they say they were not the first people on this land. They say when they arrived here that they were greeted and took underground. Now, I never understood that. I just took it as, okay, things are said in the prophecies. Now, I've recently learned that the Grand Canyon, when it was made a national park, right before that, it was a discovery in a cave that was made. And when they discovered what was in there and the artifacts were sent to the Smithsonian to say, hey, this may be the biggest discovery that we've ever found. And they said, we need funding and we need help. We need archaeologists and so on and so forth to come and what do you think about this? So they send the help. And right after that, they make it a national park and create areas that are no entrance, no authorization, restricted area. Within this cave is like Egyptian hieroglyphs. There are Buddha, a statue of Buddha. There are areas that they name Isis and Ra. They said there's temples in there. If you're wondering where I got all this information from, there's a channel called the Why Files, WHY, Why Files, and look it up, and he talks about it, because I want you to be able to see these images of the photographs that were taken, and I believe it was the Phoenix, in Phoenix, Arizona, the Phoenix newspaper, whatever local newspaper at that time, they published it in the newspaper and all that and so forth. And that's where the other evidence comes from, other than what was squashed from the Smithsonian. Now, let's go back to the Hopi Indian prophecy. They say that how they have the circle and then it's a plus sign and there's a black line, a yellow line, a white line, and a red line. All right. Each one of those colors represents man. So they said that the white brother, the woman, whoever they speak of as the woman who sent them. And this is the part that I was like, how are we going to have all these different colors right here in this land? And, those were my questions. Anyway, it says that the white brother was sent to go explore fire. So what you got, engines, electricity, things that take electrical spark. So the white brother was to go learn about fire. You got the yellow brother who was to go learn about air, which is Oriental, Chinese, and they've learned about the breathing and the energy within the body and so on and so forth. And the black brother was sent for water and to Africa, which I still am trying to understand that one, because Africa has a lot of desert area. So I'm still unclear or connected fully the dots, but I have watched a video of an elder, Hopi elder, who spoke of he's seen the symbol in the different sacred areas. Switzerland has the white symbol, and then of course in Buddha, the monasteries up there have the yellow, and the Red Brothers were to take care of this land right here. And then after all the discoveries, they were to come back and share. And then that would be the time to where there was a peace upon the land and so forth. And they were to come back together. And I couldn't understand how all of these different cultures could be in this land until I learned about that cave. And it matches up with the prophecy. Now, when I speak of the Kachina being the ninth sign of the Hopi Indian prophecy, if you look at Prophecy Rock and listen to what they've spoke about that, the elder man that speaks of it, Thomas Bianca, I believe it's pronounced. He's passed. His son is now taken over. And so it's an old film. However, he speaks of the man in the red hat. We know who he is. It speaks that he would be the one to break up, start the purification, and that he would be assisted by two other men. This is all in Prophecy Rock. This is all spoken in Hopi Indian prophecy. And then they speak that he would be assisted by a man with the symbol of an X, and he's an innovator. I'm going to go with the guess and say Elon, little star boy. And now the other one, the third one, I believe was CK, the one that just got unalived. Yes, him. Charlie Kirk. I believe that he, and if it's not him, then there's still another person out there with this symbol of, I believe it was a symbol of a sun. I don't want to misspeak on that. Okay. So, and then that would be with this ninth sign and the man who would start the destruction. I think that this is clear that the purification is on its way. So if that three-eye atlas comes with a blue hue around it, and like it literally has right now, and everyone begins to, and like if it doesn't stop, then I believe it's the blue Kachina. If it stops, then it ties into the Anunnaki, in my opinion. Because have you heard of Baba Vanka, the blind Bulgarian seer? She's passed. She became blind at age 12 from a lightning strike, I believe, and became, after that, a really in-depth seer. And she spoke of, and I believe she said the year 2025, that it would be a hollow eye, the watchers, the hollow eye that would go by. Now, the Anunnaki have been known to be called the Watchers, and I believe that's in the Book of Enoch. Getting a little chilly here. So you got all of these things that are happening right now, and all of these things that we all are watching, and you have to use your own discernment. You have to decide what it is that you believe and what do you believe to be true. Because whether or not that just goes by, whether or not it's whatever it is for sure doing one thing, and it is expanding consciousness. It is proving that the sun has consciousness. Because with all the planets, it's literally proving that they have consciousness. This just like the earth has consciousness, and this earth is waking up. It is waking up. What do you do when you wake up? How clear are you before you fully wake up? Okay, you do some stretching. You know, your back does a little bit of cracking, and at least mine does. You know, you do the things that you do. Equivalent that to the earth. The earth is waking up. Now, when Three-Eye Atlas was on the 21st, it was at a superior conjunction. And I don't know if you've seen it. I spoke of the geophysicist. His name is Stefan Burns. I highly recommend, suggest. In fact, I ask you, please go follow him, because he is describing in a way that everybody can understand and shows these most beautiful images and speaks, I believe, truth and logic. So, when it was at the superior conjunction, which was the Three-Eye Atlas, the sun, and then the earth, when it was perfectly aligned, the sun did this extreme solar burst. The image is just like, whoa, how, because normally when they show images of like a solar burst, it's just like one point goes out, just another point goes out, or might do a loop, that type of thing. This literally did it, and it went like it was like almost completely around right when it was at the point of the superior conjunction. There is some energy out there. And every time the sun does a solar flare burst, these comets, the Three-Eye Atlas, these entities the ones that get the blast from the solar flares, they get bigger and bigger. Before this 3-eye atlas went behind the sun, when they were measuring it, it was the hue around it is half the size of the sun. Now that was before it went behind the sun, and that was before this big old, this big old solar burst. So when that thing pops his head back around from the sun, everybody be calm. If it's something that you've never seen before, it was written. We are here. You agreed to be here. And the best way I suggest you handle this energy is to allow. Because I know people are out there experiencing headaches, loss of sleep, anger. There's all kind of emotions going on out there. This is the time that they speak of the Christ consciousness. This is the time when they speak of the rapture. And we can get really, really like woo-woo here right now, because if that is the Anunnaki coming back, and if this is Christ coming back, Yeshua, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be some really tripped out people. I mean, I'm being woo-woo right now. I'm like on the possibility of what if. And when you look at teachings and what is written, and I suggest for those biblically who want to know biblically what is most accurate without any changes, then refer to the Ethiopian Bible. Because a lot of people don't know that Christianity started there. Christianity was in Ethiopia before the white man came along and claimed it as its creation, as its religion, and used it for the purpose of control. Now, if it speaks of it in that Bible, of the return, could it be like with the Anunnaki? Now this is really me going down some rabbit hole here, and it speaks of, I will bless those who have blessed you. I will persecute those who have persecuted you. I know a lot of people think of it on a religious aspect, but what if it's the justice for Black people that's going to come back? I don't know what it would look like, how it would take place. I don't know. I'm being woo-woo right now. I'm just talking. I'm just sharing. I'm just saying some things that let you think about. Think about some things. Do your own research. Look this stuff up. Because one thing about it, whatever it may be, like, try not to be caught off guard. Try not to have your head in the sand like an ostrich, thinking everything is going to go away if you're just not looking at it. I'm just saying. I'm excited about it. I am ready. I am ready for what's to come. I know things are challenging right now. And this isn't anything that we didn't already expect. This isn't anything that we haven't talked about on this channel. I spoke back when of saying, get your supplies together. Get your dry goods. Stock up on your house supplies. Get ready, because prices are going up. They have gone up, and they ain't going nowhere. What's going to be next is things are going to begin to disappear off the shelves. I mean, I don't want to speak doom and gloom. I'm just like, are you ready? Are you prepared? Have you started your garden? Have you tried to do things on the inside of your house? Maybe on your balcony, grow something, buy some seeds. Like, when I say that things are already changing, okay, first of all, we got this food stamps, and we talked about that before too, about how it would be removed. And so you have the food stamps issue going on, how they're saying nothing's going to be released after November 1st. Now, I'm seeing these food lines on TV and so forth, and I'm like, really? It's like that before? Or is this fear mongering? Or is this really reality? Were people already struggling? Well, of course they are already struggling before. However, Is this really, really bringing things to the surface here of what people really are going through? Of course it is, but I will say this, for those that have complaints about people, there are some that abuse the system. There are some that abuse the system. However, there are those of, it's literally supplement. It's not supposed to be your whole food budget. Okay? So if somebody needs assistance in their food budget in the first place, now you're going to take away that assistance. And a lot of people now do not have jobs and so on and so forth. Within this time, just like when the pandemic occurred. Now, let me say this before I want to keep this thought. When the pandemic occurred, I don't recall if I made a video or said it on a video. I believe I did, but I said I saw stores closed, and the only way that you were able to get your groceries is if you ordered it online. Because I saw a line outside of the stores and people just ordered their food and then they would go and pick it up. That's what I saw back then. And then I was, when things didn't happen in the way that they did and things seemed more continued going, I thought maybe, just being extra. I can just be a little extra sometimes. I thought that. But now, no, I think I saw now. Now, when the pandemic happened before, and I've always said, remember, I believe the pandemic was a dry run of what you were getting ready to go through, what we were all getting ready to go through. And within those times, there were a lot of entrepreneurs created. There were a lot of new businesses created. People used their talents and skills and created something new. And I would say that we are at that time again, because we are getting ready to things are going to break down and continue to break down and continue to break down. They still got Diaper Don up in that office, and they sitting up there still sniffing his dirty drawers and loving it. Some people just have not experienced it yet. It has not reached home quite yet. So how prepared are you? I can say this. I need to share this to you too. With the weather, I was watching TV, and all of a sudden, I don't really recall what I was watching. All of a sudden, I felt my ears just get cold, and my neck, it was just like, have you ever been in a snowstorm or wintry weather to where if you didn't have a hood or a scarf or whatever, and you had ice pellets hit the back of your neck, and it's cold and wet, and literally I sat there and I began to feel that and began to get super cold where I had to wrap up in a blanket, and I was explaining it to Jason what I was experiencing, and he was like, that was pretty descriptive with everything I said to him. I said, that is literally how I felt. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a really cold winter. However, it was more for the northeast area that I feel this energy. And I think that it will be a wet winter, a wet, icy winter. Oh. That's my winter prediction, and it's going to be cold. Now, I know before, I remember a few years back when I felt the Arctic dip here in the South, and I said, we always get an Arctic dip. And that year that I said, no, we're going to have an Arctic punch, I haven't felt that. But I did in my journaling. So in my time of sadness, I was really using this time I was really going within, really going in and healing. I did a lot of time sitting around the fire pit. Anyway, and then I was journaling for what was coming to me. And I saw, that's Florida. This is Florida. So Florida has a part like this, and then it comes down. So right here on that panhandle, I think it's a Florida panhandle, I was sitting up meditating, and then I saw the number 6. And I was like, okay. And then I saw the number 6, and then right on the other side, not directly across, but below it, I saw the number 4. And then I was like, and then I kind of backed up like that. And I was like, am I seeing 2 hurricanes, or am I seeing a hurricane at the same time? One on each side of Florida. Now, and when I backed up and kind of did a and then down below, I saw number 5. So I don't know. And then I saw the path. I don't know if you can see this, but I kind of drew where the path went, where it came from. This one came from this way. You see, this one came this way and went up, and then this one came this way. But they were there and there. And then I saw number 5 down there. So I don't know if it was a number 5 that turned to a 6, or if it's going to be 3 separate, or if we're going to have this all at the same time. This is all for entertainment purposes only, but that is what I saw. I do not recall what happened on the 16th, October 20. I have wrote down here October 16th, and I put a question mark. October 24th, I put the question mark. But then I put the equivalent to with the earth waking up. That was the other thing. With the blue Kachina being the 9th sign, if it is, October 20th marked the 9th month of this administration, 9th month. So 9th sign, 9th month. We are in a 9-year. Yeah, all of this was coming to me. So I was like, okay, 9 months, that's how long it takes to birth something. So with the earth waking up, are we getting ready to experience birthing pains? And how long will these birthing pains take place? Will we go through a 9-year cycle of breakdown, purification, and change? Because also within that prophecy, the Hopi Indian prophecy, it speaks of, oh yes, oh, you know what? Let's send love to Jamaica right now. Miss Lisa, yes, I'm going to hold this thought for me, y'all. But right now, let's stop and let's sing, because this is not, I don't believe this is what Melissa, I don't believe it's what I saw. I don't believe it's, because I was looking at that and I'm like, no, I don't think that was it. Just saying for right now. So let us collectively send calm to the storm, to Melissa, that's heading towards Jamaica, because it is forecast to be a direct hit of a Category 4 in Jamaica. Collectively, we are connected. We are as one. Let us all send calm. Calm to Melissa. We use the words that we choose to manifest. And to the system named Melissa, I send calm. I send peace. I send love. For the energies of the earth are contributing to this. And within that, I send calm to the earth. I send love to the earth. To the people that are on the island of Jamaica, I send support from the universe for every area of your life. I send to you support. I send provision. I send peace. I send calm. I send awareness, guidance to every individual to be divinely guided in this time. I send an umbrella of benevolence around the island of Jamaica in the most benevolent way. Thank you. I send thanks and gratitude. Angels, I send you on assignment. Seraphim, I send you on assignment. My guides, the seraphim angels, I send you on assignment to the Jamaican Islands to calm Melissa in the most benevolent way. And I say thank you and gratitude. Yes. Namaste. That's right. Now, where was I? And you all know how I be talking about this was the interesting part with me journaling. I tried to continue, but it was really in one day that I did this journaling. And as you can see, because I talk about how it's challenging for me to write, but when I do channel write, my hand cannot keep up. So, it came out in pictures. I need to be able to see for it to come up. It came out in pictures and diagrams that were not like I was just writing down. I mean, circles, like these imageries that I was seeing, and I just started writing them down. It was different. It was different. So, without having to go into personal detail. Now, there's another thing. Do you remember the song by The Fifth Dimension? When the words are, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. Okay. When you look at an astrological map of the skies I saw this on the Stefan Burns channel with that app that he has, and the months, I believe it went into 2026, but literally the astrological alignment was just like this. And it started off with, it didn't show the moon in this alignment. However, the song popped in my head. So the lyrics are, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will rule the planet and love will rule the stars. And so when I heard that, and when that lyric crossed my mind, then the first thing that I thought about was, hieroglyphic girl, that is the language, African Creek. I didn't understand, but yay. Anyway, where was I at? So my thought was, is Venus, the planet Venus, going to get hit with this solar blast that we're seeing from my journal? If you can put it more in detail and send it to me like you did before. And I got to say, I am so grateful for those that reached out to ensure that I was okay. I am grateful. It was you're not saying that it's easy, because I can tell you I have found a light, and my light did not come to a few days ago, and I am so grateful. But thank you for reaching out to ensure that I was okay. I received some really, really heartfelt messages, and like the smallest to the largest of wording that came out. I promise you, I'm appreciative, I'm grateful, and I felt the love and support coming from you guys. And I say thank you, because it was needed. Yes, it was needed. And even when I even had a session with somebody, that's a whole nother, like, I just went through a whole experience, and I will share in order to help another, because you don't know until you know. And I will share this. One of the emotions that I experienced in my healing and coming back to light because I was in a very dark space, was when I started feeling better, I literally began feeling guilt for feeling better. And then I would feel sad again. We are human. And when I realized the scale, you have the scale of the lowest is fear and the highest is love, and there's all these emotions in between. How guilt was down there in the lower level, it like showed me that, yo, I'm still down there. And yo, it's okay to feel better. It's okay to be of higher energies. I had to remind myself that everything that we go through, even as to why we are here, it was a soul contract. It was a soul agreement. And it's all for the benefit of us all. So even in my grief and my struggle and my hard times, I will share when I share, and it's all for the benefit to help those that are in that space, and they don't understand. Because I can tell you this, there are going to be a lot of people that are experiencing, not necessarily from a loved one or experiencing death and a loss in that way, just the whole aspect of these United States, the world, and everything that is happening and what we are all going through. And yeah, it's a lot. I started thinking about something else, and so that my train of thought went that way as I was thinking about this anyway. So, Superior conjunction, closest to the Earth, October 29th, Blue Kachina, 9 months. What will that look like? So, I've spoken about the volcanoes. You remember I kept saying I feel volcanoes? Yeah, I feel volcanoes coming. And I want to say this about the concern that people have with Yellowstone. Relax for right now. Should and when Yellowstone begin to act like it's going to erupt, you'll experience earthquakes in that area. However, but before that happens, I've said it before, on the West Coast, I couldn't tell if there was tsunamis on the West Coast or East Coast or both. We're going to have our challenges. And the only thing that you can do right now is prepare physically, mentally, and emotionally, spiritually, and just trust and know that you are here for a reason. What role do you play? Because how can you help another in this time? Maybe you are in the position to where when you go grocery shopping, you can buy an extra item, even if it's, let's say, a 20-pound bag of rice for somebody whom you know could use that. Maybe you can buy some diapers for somebody that you know that can use it. Just one thing. And if we all just do just one thing, how helpful will it be? How much will you help another? Because one thing about it, we are going to a more community environment. I spoke of that before. When I see I still see the 2030s dark. I still see it beginning to lighten up in after 2045 and into the 2050s is when I feel like things are really settled, and we are how we are. We live in community we barter. There's a lot of bartering that goes along. So that says a lot what will happen with the economy. But that does not mean that you step into fear. You just step into awareness. You step into adjustment. You step into, okay, we are changing seasons. You change seasons all the time. Winter comes along, you pull out your winter clothes. Summer comes along, you put those summer clothes away, and you put those winter clothes away, and you pull out your summer clothes. It's all about change and adjustment. You are always prepared. What you do today prepares you for tomorrow. So when I spoke about back in the pandemic, when it prepares you for now, whether it be through a business, whether it be through a community that was formed, whether it be you know what to do. Should we face another viral, which I won't be surprised, but this time we won't shut down behind it. People will push past it because it'll be more, because I've always asked, what will it be? And my answer has always been, it's not just one thing, it's many things. However, we are what will bring us through. And having the energy of love and compassion and empathy is what will change. I hope I'm making sense in this, because we're all connected. And as we raise to a higher consciousness, which is going to happen as these planets move the way they do, it moves us. I had this image of when I was sitting outside in this time, and in my time, I'll just call it my time, and I saw the night skies and the planets and stars that move through it was equivalent to water. If you are in a pool, a lake or whatever, and you move water, you splash or whatever, that ripple will go to the other side, will it not? It will there is an effect. It is, and when you have a bunch of people in the water and moving and so forth, and there is energy that flows through the water from the people and the moving and so forth, and it does affect you. So you apply that with the planets and with the stars and these comets that are coming through. When I'm not talking about just 3i Atlas, there are a lot of comets coming into our atmosphere that is more than it has been in the past. That's a lot of energy being stirred. That's a lot of consciousness being raised and so forth. You must be in the space of allowing, of receiving, of relaxing, of knowing, of trusting. Okay? Because I've spoke of it before, just like an elevator. As we raise in consciousness, it always raises. You go to the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, higher consciousness will raise. Lower vibration will fall away. Therefore, those that are not supposed to be here in this time, or those that could not handle it, or those that just soul contracted to leave in this time, okay? It's going to happen. And those that are here, what role will you play? How will you play your role in higher consciousness? I know it's a lot. I know I'm just like blah, 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 blah. I'm glad I'm blah, 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 blah. Because there was a time some weeks ago, I had a hard time just even saying hello to somebody. I had a hard time not snapping off on people. I had a hard time not being rude. I was angry. But that's just the way I was feeling at the time. I acknowledge, I hold responsibility for all my actions, no matter what state I was in. And I say that because that's what we will experience out when we're out and about. People are in their states, and we must learn to be in a state of observant, not judging. And that's what triggers an individual when you go to judgment. If you can stand back and look and observe, let's use that White House as an example. Instead of freaking out about that, I look back and I observe, and it's like, oh, he tore down the White House. Oh, he's really trying to get people out in the streets. What's his motive? I'm not going to get upset. I'm looking at the bigger picture. What is he trying to do? I've said it before, and I will say it again. He is trying to get people out on the street, especially Black people. Stay as calm as you can. Because the moment he gets the opportunity, he's going to declare martial law. Diaper Dawn will declare martial law so that there's fighting in the streets, or however he wants to try to describe it, so that there's no voting, so that he can stay president. I don't know how they're going to handle it. But I know I need to be observant to protect my ass, if you know what I mean. Observe. Don't react. Don't use myself as an example when you saw me flipping off people. I got triggered. Not my proudest moment. I wanted to snatch somebody bald headed. Yes, I did. Not my proudest moment. However, I can look back and take responsibility of my actions. But let's try not to get there in the first place on a normal day-to-day way of being. Just observe people and what they're doing. Great that y'all want to get out there and protest. Great. And I find that so interesting how y'all can make art and get out there and yell in the streets and do nothing and know that nothing's going to happen to you. So make your art, make all your signs, go out there. Because for me, it was just like on Windsor Tower, in did I don't know if I did. Because this, he's just Windsor Castle. I don't know if I saw those images. I look, I can't die. He's just ew. Diaper Don and Mr. VD. I stand on it. Yes, I stand on it. Oh yeah. I saw pictures of him at with Epstein and all that kind of stuff. He said Elvis with Epstein. Yes, I did. I saw that. And somebody, you know what? Somebody said Pebbles is missing. They haven't seen her. And I haven't seen Pebbles. You're stoned. Well, that's okay. Nice open space to be. So, if Miss Pebbles is out, is this Miss Pebbles? You changed your name? Okay. Because I began to get a little worried. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Amy. Thank you for your lovely message. Because Andy, she put a message and saying Pebbles is missing. Has anybody seen Miss Pebbles? But I wasn't in an emotional state. Ugh, why? Well, that's okay. That's okay. Yes. Okay. See, the family's all here. So I don't want to keep you guys too long because it is an hour. I am back. For spreading the petition to stop the. Well, hey. Okay, see, folks was looking. Folks was wondering. But I couldn't respond because I was already in a space, and yeah. I couldn't even sing. I couldn't smile. Whoo. Shall I share with you what really, really, really brought my joy back? 100. So, you remember how I spoke of my daughter that passed, and I said, her brother, now remember this was a foster daughter of mine. She's still my daughter. And it's still a challenge, and I don't want to share too much because it's still an ongoing investigation, and I'm not trying to put out information and trying to mess things up, okay? But I spoke of how her brother got adopted, and I lost contact. Lost contact with Tony, okay? Within that adoption, I intentionally stepped away so that bond could be allowed, that it wouldn't be interfered, and he can have the life that was to be given to him. I found out, it's been a few days now. I found out, I was able to get Tony's number, and I reached out to him, and I'm back in contact with my son. I found out that adoption did not work out, and with the journey that he's been on, so on and so forth. I have my son back, and he has his mommy back, and we are both giddy and happy, and life was meant to be for whatever reasons. You cannot get upset at the universe. The universe is so, it's written, it's divine, it's perfect. And I know that's crazy to say in such a time, but literally, I have a grandson. Yes, he's 1. I'm supposed to we're gonna video and all that kind of stuff. I've been taking this step by step, and after Tony, and I actually felt Akila moving in all of these types of ways. Through the person who gave me that was one of my daughters was the one that, and I don't know how she got the number or whatever, but she reached out to me and was like, Mom, I spoke to Tony. And I'm like, what? And so, yeah. So thank you, universe, for bringing my son back. I lost a daughter. She's still here in spirit. I feel her around all the time, but literally when we connected, I felt her go, whew. It's like, so still cannot share details. I do not want to share details because they're going to find the individual that did this to her. Yes, they're going to find him. And in the meantime, I'm going to be in the space of joy and love and happiness and gratefulness and gratitude as much as I can in the most benevolent way. And I'm back. However, it came back. I am back. And it feels so good to smile. It feels so good to sing. Yeah. and to be even able to have the energy to come on, because I tried so many times. I had intention. I would affirmation it before going to sleep. I awake with enthusiasm and energy and drive to go on my channel, on my platform. I just kept saying it wasn't time. I kept hearing it wasn't time. It's not time. It's not time. You're still not ready. You're not ready. But then when I did have a session, which I don't normally get, I got a session with somebody who it was just so interesting within itself. And then I encourage you all. Her name is Nikisha Burrell. That was an experience within itself. And I literally did not ask her a question. And she literally answered the questions that I had put out to the universe and wanted to know answers to. And I was just like emotional, sobbing and crying. And so, because the freaky part about, well, I don't even want to go into that. Anyway, I'm here. And she gave me encouragement and so on and so forth. And I'm here and I'm back. And I know I keep saying that, but you just don't know how great it feels like to be back in the light again. Being sad and angry and mad and defensive is not me. We all have to be who we are. Just because you are in a defensive position does not mean you can't fight back and protect yourself and do what you feel is right. But yeah, it all is what it is. And I'm grateful to be here. And I'm grateful you're here. And do what you need to do to make the changes in your community. Don't get triggered by, try not to get triggered by individuals, and stand in the space of observing someone, not judging. Okay? Because that's not, and even in these moments, allow for mirroring to take place. Allow for yourself to be reflected back to you so you can see, oh, wait a minute. I don't like that. That looks like what I do. And I don't like that. I think I'm going to stop doing that. That has happened to me before. Mirroring, self-correcting, being in right alignment with who you are. Okay? Remembering that you are perfect. You are perfect just the way you are. The universe does not make mistakes. It is perfectly aligned. Yes, you need to create the world that you want it to be for your children, for you right now. because we are definitely going through changes. And I mean, there's no disputing that. The difference is how much can we go into it in the more benevolent way. The more and more people speak up, come together, oh, excuse me, that you realize that those that are on your level, those that are on your vibrational level. Let me give you another example. This is with Tony, my son. When we were actively together last, okay, Christianity was in the home. Until I stopped going to church, until we stopped going to church, because my awakening started then. My opening, whatever you want to call it, started then. And I stopped going to church. I started questioning. My gifts started flowing back to me. And yeah. So, and now I'm here today. Now that I'm in with Met Up with Tony, we are literally on the same vibrational frequency. We both are at the same vibrational frequency. We both have pushed back Christianity, and we are both right here. And I say that with the universe is perfect in its orchestration, in its, you're written in the stars. You, me, you can get your chart drawn up, and you are written in the stars. We are written in the stars. So everything is perfect in divine, especially if you walk with your guidance, going within and listening to what you've been shown, what you see, listening to what you hear, paying attention to how you feel, thinking about what it is that you know, and realizing that it's you. And that's where all the guidance is. Go within. Go within. So I love you guys, and I'm grateful. I'm back in the best way I can. In the best way I can. Thank you. I'm going to end it here, or else I'm going to keep chit-chatting, okay? So let us say it all together, all right? I am love. I am light. I am all that I am. And so are you. So until the next time, have the most benevolent day.